Are you serious? Are you serious, guys? Welcome to another broadcast, and you're in for one of the most informative probably we've ever had. We've got Ronnie McMullen here from GetTheT.com, and he's going to help us understand GMOs. You know, we just say it, GMOs. What's that? He's going to break it down for you why genetically modified organisms are killing us and why processed foods are harming our bodies so much. Breaking it down for us and what can we do to change it. So, Ronnie, welcome to the broadcast. Great to have you today.
How you doing, Pastor?
I'm doing great, and it's crazy now. Here we are, mid-December. It seems like this time of year everybody's in a hurry. On the highways are dangerous.
Highways are dangerous. California's on fire. We have a tax bill that probably won't be put into effect for another year and a half. It's kind of funny, actually. You just got, and we're eating GMOs by the truckful. So what do you do?
It's the apocalypse. It's the apocalypse. We're having a GMO apocalypse. All right, folks.
Oh, my God.
All right, Ronnie, help us out here. And I know you got some great things. And folks, go to his website, GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com, okay? He breaks down a lot of stuff for you. But would you help us right now understand what is a GMO for a guy like me? What's a GMO?
Okay, a GMO is really an organism, okay? And when you think of organism, we'll go do some simplified stuff. So if I said, hey, Pastor Paul, let's go fishing, you and me. And you say, yeah, Ronnie, let's go fishing. So we go out, we go fishing, we get our hooks, and we buy some worms to, put on our hooks. And so all of a sudden, you're looking over at me, and instead of baiting my hook, I'm eating the worm.
What?
And you say, what are you doing? That's probably what you would say. What? Okay?
You're right.
So you'd be like, what? Right? Why are you eating those worms? Oh, I love worms. And now most people don't love worms. They don't eat worms, right? That is an organism.
Okay.
So we are eating a live organism. So when we have GMOs and we see them in a box and we see them with products or whatever, we think of not a live organism, but an organism is alive. That means it's going to do something. Okay?
Okay.
And what it does is when we eat these GMOs, when we genetically modify, and genetically means man-made. Okay? So man-made organisms, okay, which is made by Monsanto. This is the king of GMOs, right?
Right,
we'll
exactly. Exactly.
So the king of GMOs is Monsanto. Genetically modified, putting them in boxes in different packages in food. 80% of our grocery store is GMO, including some of the fruit, the vegetables, whatever.
Can you tell me, Ronnie, when I was growing up, what percentage of GMOs was in the grocery store then compared to now?
Probably 10%, maybe less. So
this is really affecting our health in a big way.
Think about it. How many hospitals do you see? How many urgent cares do you see? They're popping up on every street corner. Why? Because they can't. One small little urgent care in one hospital is not big enough. You ever notice all the hospitals? And this is not your town or my town. All towns. They're adding new wings. They're putting on new areas. They're putting more MRIs. Prices haven't gone down, right? We have bulk people sick, but no pricing going down. If anything, pricing going up. This is the cash cow. Diabetes is the cash cow. High blood pressure is the cash cow. Why do we have all these things? And we can say, oh, it's our weight. We've been eating. We're all fat. Well, let me tell you something. There's been overweight people for a very long time, and they've been very healthy. So just because you're overweight, in fact, they're actually making studies right now proving that diabetes and weight gain is not connected.
Really?
There's a lot of people that don't have or that are overweight that do not have diabetes, and they're not even getting close to having diabetes. But right now, 2% of the population has diabetes, and who knows what the prediabetes is. Why? Because if you go to diabetes, it is an autoimmune disease, which means our immunities are breaking down. Why is that? Maybe it's the worms we're eating, the GMOs.
So in other words, and you got a great point here. I mean, naturally, the older we get, a little more, our metabolism slows down, and it's a natural way of life. We gain a little as we go. But if the food we eat was healthy, I remember when I was a kid, I never heard of anybody really that was a diabetic. I mean, rare.
I mean, it was around, but it was not like it is today, where 7 out of 10 people have diabetes, or 3 out of 10 have diabetes. It's completely. And why is this? See, this is the catcher. For me, I want to know why. And here's another thing I think it's interesting. And call it what you want to call. I can see you on a screen. I remember as a kid watching the Jetsons, and they would make phone calls and they would talk to each other and looking at a TV screen. And this is exactly where we are today. So that's incredible technology, right? But we can't figure out a cure for diabetes. We can't figure out a cure for, and when I say a cure, don't get me wrong here. So we take a pharmaceutical and we lower our blood sugar, or we take a pharmaceutical and our high blood pressure goes down, right? But here's the kicker. As soon as we stop taking the pill, everything goes back to where it was. So they're not healing us. They've got residual income.
No, they when I go to the doctor, if they give me a prescription for something, I never say, how long does this take to cure me? I mean, so what's this going to take? 2 weeks? No, there's never an end game. There's never an end game, right?
Right. And here's the thing. This is my belief system, and this could be conspiracy, but I think they have a cure. I do. Notice how many people in Congress and Senate and all the big, you don't hear them having diabetes problems. You don't hear them dropping off like flies. No. Sexual abuse, you'll hear that. Corruption, you'll hear that. But you're not going to hear them when it comes down to, hey, they're really sick about this or that, unless it's a cancer. Then that's different. So, well,
the lobbyists running them down the halls of Congress, they're the ones that's funding all these guys' campaigns to keep them in office. So it's not a national problem. The explosion of our health decaying, our health is dying. That's not a problem with Congress. They don't see that as an issue.
The government, this is very interesting too. Monsanto, okay, as of like 2015, they had 20,000 employees. Okay, Bayer, which is buying out Monsanto in the process of it, and I think they've almost finished now. They had 120,000 employees. So we're talking about a bear eating Monsanto, and I think the reason they wanted to do this is because they wanted that name of Monsanto to go away. Everybody's kind of identifying Monsanto with genetically modified organisms. I don't think it should say GMOs. It's very much squishing down what we really know. So in other words, when we say GMOs, we just, GMOs. But when you say an organism, when you think about eating a worm when you're fishing, it's a whole new thought process.
So we need to understand what the GMOs are doing to us. We need to understand that it's a real situation. It's genetically modified organisms. It's alive. It's almost, it's not a parasite, but it's genetically modified. It's been altered.
It's actually like a parasite. It really is, because it's so minute. And what it's changing is the DNA and the RNA. So it's changing who we are, how we find. And people say, what are you talking about? You talking about the brain? Absolutely, I'm talking about the brain. Tell me how you feel when you're sick. Tell me how you feel when you have a major stomach ache, when you have a massive headache, when you have eye problems, when you have worry, fear, when you have things going on in your body that you go, man, this is weird. And sometimes you have like little pains and it feels like a worm inside of you. Right?
Wow. I'm looking at some of the comments that are in the chat room right now live with this, Ronnie, and they're saying, look, one person says, when I was drinking milk, I get rash all over my body. And when I stop drinking the milk, of course, then it starts to go away. Now, we could say that's an allergic reaction maybe to dairy. Well,
it's a lactose. But here's the thing. If you want to talk about milk, the homogenized milk is deadly. Just in my book. I'll say it off of my book. Raw milk, okay, which is what we grew up with a long time ago, has so many vitamins and essential vitamins inside of it and essential minerals that it's really, it's like drinking a cup of vitamins. I'm curious if that person, now again, if you're lactose intolerant, you're going to be, it's going to cause problems whether you have raw milk or you have homogenized. But raw milk is like, and I find it funny because the FDA is running around trying to close people selling raw milk, saying, no, you cannot do this. California's number one on this. So it's very interesting. Things that are good for us.
What about almond milk? What about almond milk? There's folks asking that. Good. Is that good?
Yeah. Oh yeah, almond milk's good. But for us that grew up on, cow's milk or goat's milk's even better. It's hard to go to almond milk. I'll be honest with you. It's kind of hard. But, some people have to because, now like soy, I'd be scared of soy because it's, I call it GMO full.
Yeah, it would be off. I mean, you can't drink soy milk because soybeans, they're genetically modified soybeans, right? So
here's another thing that people don't realize. So a lot of us out there, we like our beef. We like to eat our steak dinner. We like to have a good hamburger. Okay, we eat this
guilty
stuff,
as
right?
charged. Guilty as charged. Definitely.
Okay, so we have this and we go, oh, this is okay. This is good stuff. Well, if we're having basically this beef is GMO full. And why it is because they're feeding at the feedlots nothing but corn and garbage. Corn is the number one GMO full, call it vegetable, whatever you want to call it. And they feed the corn to the cows. So now the GMO's in the corn, now it goes into the cows. We eat the cow and the cow goes into us, okay? It's very smart. And then we're still sick. We're still sick. And the key is where they're feeding the cash cow. They're feeding the sickness. Yeah. And if we don't change our sickness, and we can change it, but we have to give up. We have to do things. We have to say, okay, I have a meat problem, so get grass-fed beef. Okay?
Right.
And we shouldn't be eating a ton of beef anyway. It takes so long to get through our digestive tract. We're not meant to do that anyway. But if we have to have it, shrink it down. Go to 4 ounces or 5 ounces instead of that 16-ounce or 14-ounce steak. That way you're still getting it. We put steak, and I'm guilty as charged. I love my meat. But we put steak or hamburger, that's the main dish. If we made that the side dish and made the vegetable the main dish, you wouldn't be surprised. Our weight would come off, our digestion would clean up, and things would get a lot better. So it's not necessarily giving it up. It's just changing the way we think. Because if we don't change the way we think, Bayer, which is now Monsanto, Bayer altogether, they're just going to sit back and laugh at the profits that they're pulling off. And let me tell you something. When you're sick with cancer or anything else, and we can talk about cancer too, because cancer lives in a non-oxygenated area. So when we're not pulling oxygen into our brain and into our cells, cancer can go, oh, I have a place to breed. And that's really important to understand.
Oh, okay.
And
Folks,
don't think GMOs are help combating cancer.
No.
They're help feeding
it.
cancer.
It's feeding the monster. It's feeding the cells that are fighting our own body. Folks, this is Ronnie McMullen. He's with us. GetTheT.com, his website, www.gettheT.com. Just very informative. He understands. And not only does he understand what they're feeding us and what they're putting in the food and how it's affecting us, but we got to have some help, Ronnie. That's what your company does. We got to get some supplements because 80% of what's in the store is poison. So what is it? I know Get the Tea, okay? Drink and Get the Tea, GetTheT.com. But what else do you have that might help us and why?
Well, I want to talk about what else, but I want to get back to the tea because they hear the tea all the time, and I want to really kind of deepen this a little bit because my heart is to help people. Okay. I watch orders come in, and they'll be buying the supplements, and that's great. But just see this tea, especially when we call it super tea, look at it as a supercharger. Okay. Now, when I say supercharger, this is about energy, but let's say you blew it, okay? And we all do. When I say blow it, in other words, that's not counting going to the restaurant. We think we're getting a good meal, but it's 100% GMO full because they've got to buy it by the bucket load so they can make their profits. Okay, so when you go to Denny's or you go to whatever you're going to, your local steakhouse, unless it says the word organic, non-GMO, you are getting the garbage. You're getting the feed trough. I will not eat at a buffet. All you can eat buffet. That's just like you might as well just go to a drug dealer and ask for drugs. So my point to this is when you drink the super tea is going to cleanse you not only of the heavy metals and different toxins and so on and so forth and chemicals, but it's also going to help you with GMOs. So this is something where, will it completely cleanse you? There's no testing on this, but will it help you? Yes. And to me, everything counts that helps it. Now here's another thing. When you have toxins in you and then you take a supplement, the supplement has to work like 3 times harder. But when you clean yourself of the toxins and you now take the supplement, now you get the full benefit of the supplement, as well as you're going to get the benefit of your colon being clean so that your organs can feed off the natural food. So when you eat a salad, you're actually going to get a salad.
We got folks that are in the chat room right now live with us, about 300 of them right now. And one person says, do you ship to the United Kingdom? Can they order in Europe?
Correct. We do.
All right. Just go to the website. Just go to the website. It's there. He'll ship to the UK. You can get this, and it'll be, I guarantee you, to help you.
They're really aware of what's going on, which I'm proud of them. They're really becoming proactive, and the U.S. is way
We're the worst. We are the worst. I mean, look, I have to admit it, okay? When I go to Israel, when I go to Jamaica, when I go to Canada, doesn't matter where I go, you can tell an American. I mean, look, we're overweight, we're out of shape, we can't breathe, we got all kinds of issues. But but when you go to Jamaica, there's no genetically modified organisms in the food at all. Nothing in Israel. They won't dare let it in the country. And these people are healthy, Ronnie.
Right. No, it's true. And when you look at, and this, just so you know, the bottom line is about getting a 6 cash cow, because the bottom line for they and them is all about the money. What I want to see, especially your listeners and your watchers, I want to see them get proactive with getting the tea. Get proactive. Like, okay, many of you out there, you've got tummy problems, okay? And you've got lactose intolerant, you've got gluten problems, you've got just flat stomach ache because you have your autoimmune disease is shot. That's where the colostrum comes in. And the colostrum, and by the way, we'll just go ahead and announce it on your show.
Okay.
By this weekend, I'm going to have mocha colostrum.
Oh,
not
mocha!
Just chocolate and vanilla. So now that instead of going to Starbucks and getting that garbage that's going to hurt you, now you can get you still get your mocha drink, and you can be getting well. And that's a really cool thing. Yeehaw! I like that. That's the pastor dance.
I mean, the mocha colostrum. It's going to be great. I mean, and it tastes good. I take it, Ronnie. Pretty good.
Oh, it tastes really good. And no, there's no caffeine in it. You're going, oh, coffee. Yeah. There's no, and GMO free, as always, and no chemicals. So it's all good, organic, all that good stuff. And we get the highest grade of colostrum. So there's places that sell colostrum. It's not the same. They have to go through so much testing because we're just picky. We just want to make sure. That's why when you take about 2 or 3 days of colostrum, you'll find your stomach being a whole new ball game.
So can I ask a question? You know, there's so many people I hear. I'm praying, Ronnie, for so many people that are sick. A lot of digestive problems, esophagus, stomach, digestive problems. And I've been wondering, and I've been doing this for 33 years, preaching the gospel and praying for the sick. There's way more, the last 10 years, way more people complaining of digestive sickness. Is GMOs, is the genetically modified organisms, are they doing any of this?
Oh yeah. This is. Let me tell you something, Pastor. This is not going to get better. It's actually going to get worse before it gets better. Jesus made a comment when he was healing, and he would say the comment afterwards, after he touched them, he would say, "Go and sin no more."
Right.
Our sin,
okay,
our sin and walking away from God, ours is not using what He has here on earth. We're using man's products, and we're not using God's products. If you look at the supplements I'm putting out, they're from trees and they're from shrubs, and they're all natural. I don't want any synthetics. Synthetic's another word for scientist.
Here's a question, Ronnie. Mr. Parker says, Pastor, does Get the Tea, does it kill the GMO? I mean, what does it do for our body when you're drinking it?
I don't think it kills. It's called a flush.
Okay, just pulls that toxin out. Pulls it out.
Yeah, because your GMOs are going to go basically in your intestinal tract and in your colon. Okay, and then it's going to kind of like want to scrape the sides and stay in you and get into your blood cells and get it and everything. So you want to get this thing out as fast as you can. Now, is it going to take 100% out? I doubt it. But the key for 100% effectiveness is
don't put it in.
GMOs.
Don't put it in. And that's the first thing, right?
That's the best. But how do we know? Like, we go over somebody's house, right, for dinner, and that's very kind of them, and they don't understand all this. So they feed you a nice steak meal. You get a big steak. You get a potato. You get a salad, and none of it's organic. None of it's grass-fed. What do you do? Say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't eat that. No, we eat that. Because that's courtesy. We're not going to say, oh, I'm sorry. Is this organic? I mean, I guess some people would, but I wouldn't. I would just eat the food. But the problem is now we're tainted. We have to look at this like poison, like you just drank poison. I made it very clear when I was working with farmers, and I said, do you think organic wine is better than regular wine? They said, oh, it's the same stuff. And I said, really? I said, well, let me ask you this. If I gave you a steak dinner and I just poured 3 tablespoons of gasoline, would you say that's the same too?
No. Okay. All right.
These farmers are actually, and this is really sad too, and this is not all farmers, but farmers are all about the buck just like everybody else. And there's a line. I want to make more profit. I get it. But you realize that you're poisoning people, and this starts at farm level.
Wow. This is a moral, there's a moral situation here at hand. Moral responsibility everyone has along the chain. Let me ask you this question, Ronnie. I mean, I go to the grocery store and they have organic sections. Okay? I go to the produce and it says organic. But then I scratch my head and say, but is it really organic? I mean, which organic is it? I mean, isn't there some of this where it says organic may not actually be?
Yes, unfortunately, you're right. Working in the fertilizer business, what they would put a organic USDA organic stamp on still had probably 10 or 20% chemicals. So, but here's the thing, and yes, it's discouraging as heck. But here's the thing I look at. What would you rather have, 20% chemicals or 100% guaranteed chemicals? And that's what we have to look at.
Yeah.
And if we can throw enough of the bad guys out on their butts and get them out of the jobs. See, scientists are paid to do certain work. It's not like they're in there going, I don't believe that.
No.
I think the scientists are being paid to do a job, and they think they're doing it for something else, but really they're doing it for mankind. So then, it's like, wait a second, my work is going to man? No, that's not what, and then all of a sudden they show up dead. So this is where there's a lot of stuff going on because the cash cow, with they and them, the cash cow cannot be interrupted, will not be interrupted under any circumstance. This is why the corruption in our government.
All right, folks, this is Ronnie McMullen. GetTheTea.com. Go to his website, GetTheTea.com. We drink the tea every week. We make the tea. We're drinking the tea almost at least every third day. Constantly feels good. The toxins pulling out. But as Ronnie has said, we're also being very conscious about what we're buying down the store. We're looking at the organic labels. We're checking it out. We're trying to make sure. Ronnie, what is it you got? You got holiday sales? I mean, what do you got for us here for those that are headed in your direction right now?
Well, I got the specials page, obviously. Always, always, always. The big three is a home run hitter because you're getting the colostrum, you're getting the tea, and you're getting the Allison, which is really good for your blood. But right now, okay, for probably another 2 weeks, give or take, depends, I've got an incredible special, which is the tea. Focusing on the tea, the super tea. And if you buy 2 packages, you get 1 for free. Okay. It's a $35 savings.
Now, why are you calling it super? Because this is that extra strength. I mean, you really took it to another level.
Tea. It's the flusher. It's the one that's going to help you. And you may say, and here's for the people that go, oh my God, I don't like tea, or I don't like this, that, and the other. Okay, D365 is a little lighter version, but it's pill form for those of you that just don't want to make the tea, don't have the time. Some people don't have time to use a Pop-Tart, so I get it. But point being is that at least you have a pill flushing the garbage out of you. And look up, and this is not even counting the fact that the tea also helps with parasites. And even on our little brochure, when you get sent your product, you'll see a picture of a parasite, and it actually looks like a worm. And on the inside of that round worm hole is teeth. Okay?
What?
Little teeth.
Whoa, yeah. Are you serious?
And this is getting in. People literally, they go, oh yeah, if you go to Mexico, there's a lot of parasites. It's the parasite numbers are off the charts.
What about North Korea? I mean, Kim Jong-un, he admitted he's spraying human feces. He ordered it 3 years ago, all fields, because they didn't have enough fertilizer. Now these guys, I mean, they're eat up with worms 10 foot long.
Did he admit that he was a parasite?
No, he hasn't done that yet. But I'm sure. But hopefully somebody will get that across to him. Okay.
Yeah, he's a big one with big teeth.
Okay.
But you don't want him in your belly.
The parasites have teeth. Teeth.
Yes, and it's disgusting. If you go look at the parasites, and here's the thing: parasites eat other things. they get bigger and bigger and bigger. For those of you that watch any of those scary movies, where the gooey thing eats something else that's gooey and whatever and feeds on cats and dogs, it's kind of a big version of what's going on in our body. So that's, again, back to the tea. Guess what? Parasites are going bye-bye. Somebody will go, hey, I'm going to Mexico, so can you please, I'm going to buy 6 packages of tea. So I'm like, yes, you are. Yes, you are. But people don't realize they get in the United States and they kind of get this idea like, I'm safe. And it's like, do you know what's in our water? Okay, if you're not running purified water and you're not running the right kind of water, that's another issue. I mean, we could literally, Pastor, talk all day on stuff that's being done to us that we don't even know it's going. We're the only country that fluoridates our water.
I got to be honest with you, Ronnie. I travel a lot. I do conferences. I travel all over, revivals, conferences. And this last time we traveled, I forgot to take our tea with us. Okay, so I didn't get the tea for about 12 days. And, and then when you're on the road, you're eating in restaurants or room service, or you're going over here and over there, and you're on the fly and the airplane food. What? So I was in bad shape. I mean, seriously, I felt bloated. I felt, I felt more than bloated. I felt toxic. Seriously. I get in a bad mood, everything. Does it affect you like that?
Oh yeah, because and this is the thing, I have people that drink the tea. And the testimonies I've had to strip off my website for governmental reasons. But it's incredible what it does. But the big thing it'll do is give you energy. Okay? Why?
That's true.
Because you're not down, you're not feeling bloated, you're not feeling, so you get rid of this garbage in you. It's kind of like a simple thing I would say is like when your garbage is full, it starts smelling and it starts yucking and all the, you know what I mean? It gives you the kind of the willies. You take out the trash, put a new bag in and you're like, oh, that's better.
They're fresh.
Okay?
Right.
We put it outside. Well, we need to get it in the toilet, and that's another thing that's really interesting. Real quick. So if you drink the tea and you go, it makes me uncomfortable because I go to the bathroom. If you're not going to the bathroom, you're not taking out the trash. So you need to be thinking that way to take out the trash. Otherwise, if you don't take out the trash, you're guaranteed to be sick.
Yeah, folks, this is Ronnie McMullen. GetTheT.com. Great guy, supporter of our ministry, and really cares about people. I mean, the key thing about Ronnie was, and I've known this now ever since we've known him, is that he doesn't care about what it is. He doesn't want just you to buy a bunch of bottles of supplements. He wants you to get what you need. So I guess, I know you can't give medical advice, but is there any way when people contact you that they can ask questions and you can give suggestions of what might be good for certain problems, high blood pressure or, sugar diabetes or maybe some other ailments they may have?
Well, we can't suggest because that's like giving medical advice, and what happens is the FDA gets all over us and says you can't do that, you're not a doctor, which is all true. But what we did is we kind of loaded the website, and you kind of can look through the website at different products. So like let's say you have blood sugar issues. You can type that in our search engine, and it'll give some products that will help you. Or possibly help you. I have to say, keep your blood sugar in the normal range. But point being is, what I'm saying? It'll
right.
help you. And I understand these things, and, we watch. I can, sometimes when we're loading packages, I can tell you what disease people have just by what they order. And it hurts my heart because this doesn't have to be this way. And I'm not saying, just buy more of my product. I'm actually saying, this needs to be cut down at the level of the bear. The bear
right.
needs to be taken out.
Well, I know this. Every time I talk to you, you talk more about nutrition and how people eat than you do what supplements to help you since you eat the bad stuff. I mean, you really do push for folks to focus on the intake. What you're intaking is so important.
Well, and it's like I've said, exercise is really important, and a lot of us have a hard time with that. I get it. And if we get overweight or we get older where our bones hurt and our joints hurt, to go out and do some kind of exercise is actually hurts. It's painful. It's also painful to have a heart attack.
Right.
So the point being is just getting your just moving that whole in and out breathing. And in fact, here's what I would tell you. Let's say you can't exercise. The point of everything is to oxygenate, okay? And I'm saying this with absolute power. If you oxygenate, so in other words, instead of like, let's say you go out and you ride your bicycle, you get oxygenated. You go out and stair step. Well, again, back to if you're painful or you're overweight, that's very hard to do. I've got something for you right now, nice and free, and you can do this and you can oxygenate. It'll oxygenate your eyes, your heart, and everything. It's just 40 times in a row. Okay? Breathe in your nose. Exhale your mouth. Nice and slow. Every time, try to get as much oxygen as you can in your lungs. The reason you want to be through your nose is a filter. Okay, so it's going to filter all the garbage. So you want to do it 40 times. Then on the 41st time, you take as much air as you can. Hold it. Hold it for at least 30 seconds. Blow it out. Now you're oxygenated. You didn't go run a mile. You didn't stair step a mile. You didn't bicycle a mile, and you're oxygenated. That's going to help you with your heart attacks. There's actually a guy that talks about this whole formula, and he basically says by doing this, you will actually kill some of the diseases. Is it true? I couldn't tell you that, but I do know the power of oxygenating your body.
So how often a day do you think a person should do that? Maybe once or twice a day?
Twice a day.
Yeah.
If you can do it twice a day, you're not hurting yourself. You know, if you we get busy and tired, but at least do it once a day, 40 times. Don't do it 10 and then 10 over here and 10 over there. Do it 40 times, and then the 41st time, bring it in. Hold it. 30 seconds. Count to 30, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. And if you don't make it, that's okay. If you make it 20 seconds, 15 seconds, that's fine. Your goal is to be at 30. And watch yourself, and watch, if you have blood sugars, watch your blood sugars. What if they go down? What if your blood pressure goes down? Watch this. You're not going to hurt yourself. You're going to feel much, much better, and that's a lot better than riding a bicycle. Now, if you can ride a bicycle too, you're good. But if you can't, this won't hurt your body to do this.
Folks, amazing. And again, Ronnie, you're telling everybody, look, get the tea, get the super strength tea, but drink the tea. Let this help flush your system, get the toxins out of your body, keep yourself healthy and moving. And then there's some other supplements he has there. And he's got a holiday sale going on right now. Good time to go over there. So, Ronnie, I think it's really good stuff. And I think what we've been hearing, and we hear from people. I get letters in the mail saying, thank you for introducing us to Ronnie at getthetea.com. Thank you. I feel better. And I want to ask you a question. This is off the subject maybe, but silver. I take a teaspoon of silver. I've been told it kind of helps my immune system. Oh, how do you feel about silver? How do you feel about,
you're talking about colloidal silver?
Yes.
I would tell you that's a very positive thing. Some people get a little crazy with it and they took too much and it kind of turns their skin. But yeah, I think colloidal silver, it's I am not, yes, I sell supplements and obviously I believe in my tea. But there are so many other things, just like the breathing. It's absolutely free. In fact, I probably should put something on my website, Time to Breathe, because that breathing is so important and it's absolutely free. Right. So colloidal silver, yes. And there are, essential oils. I don't carry them. Are they good for you? Absolutely, they're good for you. Yeah. So everything has its place, everything. If you can do something naturally, here's another small thing. You eat your dinner, right? And maybe whether you overloaded or you just ate a normal dinner, if you just go out and take a 15-minute walk, not a run, not a stairs, just take a walk, you're not going to believe how much. It's like 3 times faster your digestion. 3 times faster. So these are things that are just important and they're free.
Got to burn this way. It speeds up your metabolism. You got to burn some energy to feed those muscles, even if all you're doing is walking down the street a little ways and coming back, walking the dog, whatever. Like you said, it's just healthy. It's moving. It keeps everything moving, breathing, air, oxygen, get the oxygen going. All of it's good. Folks, Ronnie McMullen, getthetea.com. And, you know what? Check out all of his information on his website. Be educated. Know what's going on. I think that's what's great about it. Ronnie, it's been, again, a pleasure to have you with us today. I mean, you're just a wealth of information. And those GMOs are worse than just GMOs. They're genetically modified organisms. Is that right?
That's right.
Thanks for being with us, Ronnie. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Pastor.